Welcome. This is simplified version of the part 2 of our study on the trail of the truth through the Gentile dispensation. In this video, we will be talking about the times and the seasons. Let's get into it. Just before Jesus would be taken up into heaven, he was having the final conversation with his disciples. Because they knew he was the Messiah, they had expected that he will kick out the Romans who were oppressing them and become king. So they asked him, "When will you become king?" His answer stunned them. "That's not your business," he said. "You go wait until you get the Holy Ghost in your hearts." What did Jesus mean by the times or the seasons? Remember our conversation about the corn of wheat in part 1? So if you plant a corn of wheat, it grows through the 4 seasons. Planting happens in late summer, the seed rots in the fall, it's dead through the winter and starts to bud in spring. Eventually, you harvest in the second summer. We can parallel this with growth of the Gentile church. Before we go ahead, let's take a quick look at original Greek translation for those two words, times and seasons. Times means a chronological time, a measurable duration, a span or length of time. Seasons means an appointed time, a strategic or decisive moment, or a divinely appointed occasion. Remember the 7 church ages we talked about in part 1? Each of those lasted for a specific period or span of time. That is exactly the definition of the word times, a span of time. However, as one church age would expire and a new one would start, God was starting a new thing with a new servant to that age. Yes, you got it. That's the word seasons, which means a divinely appointed occasion. What then was Jesus saying to his disciples in Acts chapter 1? He was simply saying, "You don't need to worry about when I will be king. There's a times and seasons, aka the Gentile dispensation, or the times and the seasons, that will happen before it's time for me to come back again and be your king." Again, in this analogy of the times and the seasons, we see that the Gentile church, planted in the book of Acts, grows through each of the seasons. You will notice that when it starts to sprout, it doesn't look like the seed that was planted. But you wait. At the harvest time, you will see the seed come back again, but now in multiple folds. This concludes our simplified summary of the trail of the truth through the Gentile dispensation, part 2. In part 3, we will explore one of the parables Jesus told in Matthew 13. That is the parable of the 2 seeds in the same field. We will find out that another seed was planted in the field where the wheat was planted. Are you surprised? Well, come find out in part 3. Thanks for watching.